Hi students. So today we are going to see protection devices. So now contents of this presentation are introduction to various protection devices, then various protection devices. We are going to see various protection devices, how they work. Introduction. There are many situations where the connection of a sensor to the next unit like microprocessor can lead to possibility of damage as an result of high current or voltage. That means we have seen that the output of the sensor is connected to the microprocessor, and if at all there is a high current and or high voltage through the circuit, there may be a possibility of damage to sensor or microprocessor, or various electronic components will burn when there will be high current or high voltage through the circuits. So that's why we are using protection devices in the electronic circuit. Different protection devices are used in circuit for protecting components from damage in such cases. So that is the function of protection devices. So again I repeat, protection devices are used when there is a high current or high voltage is there through the electronic circuit. There is a possibility of damage to the various electronic component, or the circuit will burn or the component will burn. So in order to protect the circuit, protection devices are fitted in the electronic circuit. So if at all the current or the voltage is high, the protection device will stop the current through the circuit. So now let us see various types of protection devices. First is fuse, second is Zener diode, and third is opto isolator. So now let us see one by one. Let us start with fuse. A fuse is a small thin conductor designed to melt and separate into two pieces for the purpose of breaking a circuit in the event of excessive current. A fuse is an electrical safety device built around a conductive strip that is designed to melt and separate in the event of excessive current. Fuses are always connected in series with the components to be protected from overcurrent, so that when the fuse blows or opens, it will open the entire circuit and stop current through the components. So all we have seen the fuse in our home or in a electrical circuit. We have seen fuse. So as all you know that when the voltage exceeds certain limit, the fuse will blow and it will stop the entire current flowing through the circuit, and this is how the entire circuit will stop working. So this is how the fuse works. So you can see here a battery or a DC source, then there is a switch, and you can see here a fuse and there is a load. So in this way, if we connect the circuit and when we put on the switch or the switch is on and the fuse is in place, the current will start flowing through the circuit and the load will consume the current. So if at all the voltage or the current is excessive, or the current will cross the excessive limit, then here the fuse will melt or it will blow. So there should not be any current from this point to this point, and the circuit will stop working. So this is how a fuse works. Next protection device is Zener diode. So previously we have studied a simple diode, and Zener diode is a different type of diode that we are going to see. So first let us just revise the working or the concept of simple PN junction diode. See, diode will allow to pass the current to flow from one direction, only in one direction. It will not allow to pass the current to flow from another direction or the reverse direction. So it will allow to pass the current from anode to cathode, and a simple PN junction diode will allow to pass the flow of current when the diode is connected only in forward bias. So forward bias means if we connect anode of diode to positive terminal of DC source and negative terminal of DC source is connected to cathode, then in that case the diode is said to be in forward bias. So only in forward bias the diode will work, or there will be a flow of current through the forward bias. So the diode is said to be in reverse bias when cathode is connected with positive terminal of DC source and anode is connected to the negative terminal of the DC source, then the diode is said to be in reverse bias. So a normal diode doesn't allow to pass the flow of current in a reverse bias. So now we are talking about Zener diode, and Zener diode is different from the normal PN junction diode because Zener diodes are heavily doped as compared with normal diodes. A Zener diode is a silicon semiconductor device that permits current to flow in either a forward or reverse direction. The Zener diode consists of special heavily doped PN junction, as I said earlier, designed to conduct in reverse direction when certain specified voltage is reached. So the Zener diode will allow to pass the current in a reverse direction when a certain specified voltage is reached in case of reverse direction. So now you can see in the picture the symbol of Zener diode here. This is anode and this is cathode, and you can see here how Zener diode is connected in the series. You can see here a resistor, then these are the two terminals where voltage is applied, and this is the load. So parallel to this load Zener diode is connected. So Zener diode also works as voltage regulator. So coming to this graph, you can see here this is the voltage versus current graph. This is for the case of forward bias, forward current, and this is for the case of reverse bias. Okay, so now in case of Zener diode, there is a concept called Zener breakdown. So here you can see this is a Zener breakdown and this is the avalanche breakdown. So we are going to see the difference between avalanche breakdown and Zener breakdown. So see, the breakdown which occurs because of collision of electrons inside the p-n junction is called as avalanche breakdown, and whereas the Zener breakdown occurs when the heavy electric field is applied across the p-n junction. The avalanche breakdown occurs in a thick region, whereas in case of Zener breakdown occurs in a thin region. In case of avalanche breakdown, the junction of diode will not regain its initial position, whereas in case of Zener breakdown, the junction regains its original position. So in case of normal diode, avalanche breakdown, once the avalanche breakdown happens, it will not regain its p-n junction. So this is not the case with Zener breakdown. In case of Zener breakdown, the existence of electric field is more as compared with avalanche breakdown, because the mechanism of Zener breakdown occur in a heavily doped region. So as I have said earlier that in case of Zener diode, the p-n junction is heavily doped. Another difference between this avalanche breakdown and Zener breakdown is that the avalanche breakdown produces the pairs of electrons and holes because of the thermal effect, whereas in case of Zener breakdown, in Zener diode produces electrons. So that is the difference. In case of avalanche breakdown, voltage causes because high reverse potential is there because of lightly doped p-n junction, whereas in case of Zener breakdown, the Zener breakdown happens because low reverse potential. So that means in case of avalanche breakdown, we require high voltage so that there will be a breakdown, but in case of Zener breakdown, only low reverse voltage or only low reverse potential is required so that the Zener breakdown will take place. So that is the difference between avalanche breakdown and Zener breakdown. So you can see here in the graph here, a small voltage is required for Zener breakdown as compared with avalanche breakdown. So this is how Zener diode works. So next protection device is opto-isolator. So now and opto-isolator, which is also called as optocoupler, or photocoupler or optical isolator is an electronic component that transfers electrical signals between two isolated circuits by using light. Opto-isolator prevent high voltages from affecting the system receiving the signal. Commercially available opto-isolator withstand input to output voltages up to 10 kV and voltage transient with speeds up to 25 kW per microsecond. So let us see how it works actually. So you can see in the figure, since there are two circuits are here, this is one circuit and this is another circuit. So this circuit is having diode, this circuit is having transistor. So the function of opto-isolator is, if at all the current in this first circuit increases, it will stop the current in the second circuit. So here high voltage on this side you can see here, and can't damage the delicate circuit on this side. So let us see how it works, or what are the different components of opto-isolator. So you can see here there is a one source or emitter of light. This is the diode and it is emitter of light. So it is a LED, light emitting diode, and another photodiode, or there is a transistor which will catch the light emitting from this diode, or it is a photosensor. So you can say it is a photosensor which will catch the light which is emitted from the LED. The LED converts the electrical input signal into light, and the photodiode or the transistor in our case detects incoming light, and based upon the incoming light either generates corresponding electric energy here, so again I repeat the construction. A photodiode is present in front of the LED. So in case of photodiode, in our case there is a transistor. So I would say a photodiode or a transistor is present in front of the LED. You can see in the figure LED is glowing, so that the light from the LED directly strikes the junction of photodiode or transistor. Then the transistor is in reverse bias condition. The reverse bias circuit of the transistor forms the output circuit of the system. So it ensures that there is no light falling on the photodiode junction, and the system is protected from any external light. That means we have to take care that there is no external light falling on the transistor, that we have to take care, and we have to take care that only the light is coming from the LED. So initially no voltage is applied to the LED, hence LED does not glow. In this condition, when no light falls on the photodiode, there would not be any dark current flowing through the output circuit. Dark current is the reverse saturation current of the reverse biased photodiode when it is entirely dark. So in other case, if we increase the voltage across the LED starts glowing, and at the same time the intensity of the light increases with increasing input voltage. With increasing input voltage across the LED. So with increasing light intensity, the reverse current in the transistor increases, since the reverse current in a transistor is linearly proportional to the intensity of the light falling on the transistor junction. So if we decrease the intensity of the light in the input, the output of transistor photodiode current or the transistor current will decrease. So in short, when there will be excessive voltage in first circuit, the LED will start glowing and the transistor will catch that light, and the reverse current will flow through the second circuit. So it will protect the circuit so that there would not be any excessive current flow through the second circuit. This is how opto isolator works. So you can see here various protection devices that we have seen. This is the type of fuse, Cartridge fuse. This is the Zener diode, anode and cathode. This is the symbol, and this is the fuse we have seen. So friends, so this was about various protection devices which are used in electronic circuit to protect the circuit from excessive current or excessive voltage. Thank you.